Hey, welcome to Fishburners TV. We're back. It's February already, a new year has started. We have just done our first pitch night of the year, sponsored by our dear friends at Optus. We are so proud to have them with us tonight. Sunny is here. What do you think tonight was a success for Optus, and how did you really show the 5G technology is coming to Australia?
Very loaded question. Let me start by saying second pitch night for me.
Yes.
I loved the energy in the room. I loved how passionate all the startups are. I loved the messaging. I personally gained a lot from it. As far as the 5G and emerging technologies goes, I think a lot of pitches were on point. There's obviously more discussions to be happen on the commercialization side of it. I personally gain a lot, and I think there's more discussions to be happen within Optus to figure out how we can work more closely with those startups and with you guys.
Isn't it interesting that we have, even in Australia, we have small startups from 2 people to 10 people who are building their businesses around your infrastructure. So 5G technology fundamentally opens up new opportunities for them, and they are actually developing the next level above that. The application, the services, which will take this technology to another level. And I think Australians, we don't really understand that the ecosystem and the people developing this, it's not just the networks or the big companies like yourself, it's the grassroots people making a difference.
It is so true, okay, and it is very fascinating, okay. When you look at what's happened, the journey of 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G to 5G, especially now when you think about 5G itself, and it's very well-known fact, what's happening is this is the era when we need all different partnerships to get together. This is the era where startups can shine up because all the development that's going to happen. So platform exists, 5G is there, you can develop. This is where we're just helping expediting all the commercialization output by all the startups working on it. So you're very true what you just said. I think there's a lot to gain for the startups. The agility that comes from the startup wing can take us a long time.
And we had the first pitch tonight was a VR company in real estate.
Yes.
And what I was really, very interested in what they did, they took 2D photos of new build properties, converted that to a visual 3D environment. They put it into a way that someone, for example, in Singapore could look at an apartment in Brisbane, would never coming here, and actually visually understand and actually walk through that environment as if they were literally in Singapore.
So true.
And that's like the combination of the tech, the 5G technology, and this application level above it. And I was very impressed by that one.
So was I. As I mentioned in the picture over there, I did build a house 2 years ago. I really missed this technology, and I think it was there. I would be the first one to be using it. The challenge would obviously is how do you work with those large builders who are still using a lot of legacy systems. It's good to see that a lot of, small agile builders are coming up and starting to use this technology. The other aspect of that one is obviously how do you look into commercializing, and what I mean by that is as a someone who's going to build a house, do I really want to pay X amount for it? The expectations a lot of time comes in, we want it to be included as part of it. So I think that journey is still take on.
Yeah, I think that like you said, the commercialization for them will be a challenge. But from a tech perspective, what they've built is just, the use of it is just fantastic.
It is.
And it's so simple, and it's so simple for the consumer to view properties that way. Now you're right, what they have to do is build an infrastructure themselves to sell that in a cost-effective way.
Yeah.
But again, it comes from a tech perspective rather than a traditional business perspective.
Yeah.
So they're building, I think, a tech infrastructure to do that too.
I agree, and the tech is awesome, I can see the need, I can see the value over there, and I can see how a lot of people would be embracing it, and especially working out. See, they're touching a lot of end consumer in this scenario.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, and I think they mentioned that in there, there are lots and lots of properties out there, lots of people looking at it, especially in the market right now.
Yes.
There's investments that are coming out from overseas.
Yep.
And for someone not to be able to get on a plane, come all the way to Sydney, from whether it's Singapore, China, wherever they are, that's a massive, massive advantage.
It really is. And then the last presentation, again, I found quite interesting because that was a little bit more deep tech.
Yep.
It was at the, it was a level of having an SDK for the content providers to utilize the 5G networks and actually manage the transmission of very large data files down to the consumer. And that's like, again, I mean, I would not expect Australia to be like literally leading the world in that sort of technology. And this gentleman had the technology he's been building. Again, a very small team, but he was literally saying that I'm going to have 10 customers who are going to have millions of users using my core SDK technology to be able to play games in a more interactive, faster way, using your technology, but making it more intelligent at the actual end of the network. Which again is like, I mean, that's something that obviously you're looking at all the time, but a little bit of software that does that and facilitates the routing of those packets can make such a difference.
It does. There are a couple of things on that one, yeah? Like, I wasn't expecting to come onto a pitch night and talk about UDP and TCP, but I'm so glad I did.
But it was, wasn't it? It was that conversation.
Exactly right, yeah? So when he presented on doing this is the UDP and this is the TCP part of it, I'm going, okay, wow. I was glad we went down that path. Yeah. And frankly, to your point, I think what edge compute and 5G facilitates, it is just amazing. And what I see coming out of it, especially from the technology point of view, it just astounds me every time. There's so much work going on, and this is a great example on how, I guess, companies like Extreme and other companies over there could harness the benefit of edge compute and really make a difference, whether it's in commercialization space of it, enterprise business, or B2B2C.
Yeah. So we had sort of two extremes, didn't we? We had like a very touchy-feely sort of experience with the consumer, and then we had a very deep tech partner come in and say, you know, if I put this underneath everything, you'll never see it's here, but it'll make such a difference for consumers. So let me go and see if I can find a couple of the founders who presented tonight to have a little bit of a chat with them as well as you. So you stay here. Maybe just tell our viewers in terms of what you have upstairs in this building in your 5G Innovation Center.
We'll do that. Awesome.
And I'll go and find a couple of the founders.
Great.
Thank you.
Be back early. I guess just to give you a bit of an update on, obviously, what we're doing at the Optus 5G Innovation Hub. As you said before, we're located in Sydney Startup Hub on level 9. It is a space for us where we co-create, test, and innovate with our customers, partners, and startups. Oh, I see we have a startup. Come and join us. We're just talking about your amazing technology.
Yeah, we go.
Right. You there?
Great. Do you want to give us a bit of a demo, or maybe give a little bit more? I know 90 seconds is never enough.
Yeah, sure.
For the pitch.
So I'll give you some context first. Generally, when ArcViz artists are creating materials to sell property off the plan, they do 2D renders or they do fly-throughs. And the reason they do the renders is because you need a really powerful computer to even navigate that model.
Yes.
And that's why anyone who does VR or any other VR solutions in the past, you needed like a tower computer and you were tethered to it. What we've developed is a way of taking that model and making it light enough to work on a mobile device.
Okay.
And what that means is the same model they used to create the renders, now they get more use out of it. They can create VR from it.
Got it.
So these are studios that have wanted to offer VR in the past, but they've needed specialist staff. It's time consuming. We offer for them the easiest way to create VR for their clients. And so what we're doing is we're empowering them to go out and offer it to developers who are right at the point of sale. Like they're right about to produce their marketing material. So rather than us going and speaking to hundreds of developers and the sales process being long, we've got like an onboarding course and we give them marketing support so they can go out and sell our products.
So are you relying on them for the go-to-market point of view too?
So it's really we do have direct sales to developers and project marketing agents because it's really important for us to inspire people how to use our platform.
Yeah. So what are you seeing the biggest blocker for you right now in the market? Whether maybe it's from commercialization point of view, maybe technology point of view.
Yep. So the biggest blocker for us is because we're leading the charge on this technology. We're not just selling it, we're also educating the market on a new way to do things. And that takes a lot of effort, but we're fortunate in that we've found ways to automate a lot of this process. And we've brought really good people in from the certain industries that we're selling to. And we're starting to build a community around our products.
And who's kind of leading the charge? Are there specific developers, and I'm not sure if you can name them or not, but are you seeing more the big end of the town is leading it? Is it small in the time, or is it a mix of it?
Yeah, so what we're finding is most of our sales are coming from the big end of town.
Okay.
These businesses are looking to make sure they're staying ahead of trends, or they're just looking to project that they're innovative.
Yeah.
They're trying to give the ultimate buying experience for their homes, and also they've got the most economies of scale. Like one of the buildings we worked on, it's 52 stories. It's like 160 apartments, and all we needed to do was create an experience for 4 apartments, and it covered the whole building because of all the typical floors. So they paid more for their 2D renders than they paid for VR for the whole building. They've used our tech to sell 40% of it off the plan.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. I think that's a good model to have because obviously that's a bit of a volume play, looking at builders building a lot of apartments as opposed to someone building a house. And I can see the commercialization process much easier on that as opposed to going down the path. So now, congratulations on that. Great job.
Thanks. Well, regarding that, because our process of converting the model right now is manual, it started off as 8 weeks, and at the time we were still the fastest in the world to do it. It's now 8 days, and we got a roadmap to take it all the way to zero touch.
Yeah.
So we're in the process right now of automating it all. So our clients won't need to come to us to convert it. They'll have a plugin in their software, they'll model it, they can view it, do design review with the client using our tools, and then with one button and some cloud computing, they'll have VR on a tablet or phone.
Oh, great. That sounds great. Your competition in the market.
Yep.
What sort of competitors do you have?
Yeah.
How you differentiate yourself with those competitors?
So our competitors either require being tethered to a really powerful computer, or they require being fixed in a certain location, and you're just looking at like a spherical image, not an experience. Or they're a studio that offers it, so they do all the modeling work in-house, they do all the clients, and they can only do a few jobs a year.
Awesome.
We're just a software business, so we can focus on the optimization process, but also the end using experience. So making that as good as possible. All of our competitors are building their own apps from scratch, but what we found now is a lot of people who were building their own apps are coming to us to look for white labeled apps.
I really like the differentiator there, and how you're really offering the market in such a way, and you're focused on what you want to achieve as opposed to trying to address a lot of problems there. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank
we're looking for something that's ultimately scalable.
Brilliant.
We want to sell software, not an actual manual service.
Well, makes sense. I think we kind of over time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Well done. Sunny! Thank you for coming to Fishburner. Just a quick
Thank you
one.
for having me.
What message would you like to tell the audience who impromptu run into this video?
Wow. I guess if you haven't been to the Optus 5G Innovation Hub, make sure you do. We're located on level 9.
At Sydney Startup Hub.
At Sydney, that is correct. Sydney Startup Hub.
Yep. But how about people outside Sydney? If they want to get in touch with Optus, help them with their IoT startup, with the IoT project, that potentially will bring win-win-win for everyone. How could they contact you?
So we have a page on our website.
Fantastic.
Come through that. Look for the Optus 5G Innovation Hub.
Very good.
Contact through that, and there's a team behind the scenes, obviously addressing those questions.
It's wonderful to have you here today. For those of you who missed the event, it was a fantastic pitch night. Go to Fishburners Founders Hub, link in the description below, to watch the video again. All those six fantastic pitches.
It was fantastic. I was blown away with that.
Well, we're not supposed to pick favorite, but
is it?
But you pick a favorite. In a way, you pick a winner. So is that your favorite, or you have a personal preference as well?
See, it's a hard one, okay, and that's why we asked for extra time to do that, okay. There are a lot of, so to make it easier, we kind of set up a criteria to go with it.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, I was astounded and surprised the passion that came out of it.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, the amount of work that goes into it must be just astounding.
It's huge.
Yeah?
It's huge.
Yeah?
Some of them still face a lot of challenge, just like the remote drone network.
Yes.
There are lots of moving pieces that they need to back it down. They need a whole supply chain to make it happen.
Exactly.
What could be that better than partnering with Optus? All right, okay. And I love the next one that we're going to interview. It's a crowd favorite. Day One or One.Day, which is a career support planning tools. For those of you who missed the pitch night, failed to come here, this is some of the goodies that you could have picked up if you turn up tonight. So
I know, I love it. Isn't it
thank
great?
you, Optus.
No worries
Thank
at
you,
all.
Optus, for bringing along 170 pieces of Hot Wheel cars.
Yes.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to the sponsor message and we'll move on to the next pair of interview.
Brilliant.
Bye-bye.
Thank
you. Link in the description below.
Hi Annie.
Hey Mayhew.
Well, firstly, congratulations on presenting such a fantastic pitch. I am
you.
so impressed by your idea and also the idea of like expanding and hitting this market where so many young people and people in general just need some help in their careers. Anyway, tell me about the idea, One.Day.
Yeah, of course. So One.Day is an AI virtual career coach. So our aim is to really provide a modern solution to career navigation for young people. So career navigation, like the market is changing like faster than ever. Like young people have the lowest average tenure for a job now. So it's like 3 years, 65% of employed people are like actively looking for a role. And at the same time, there's like more roles which are tech related. So lots of people have to transition skill sets. So it's just a massive problem. And at the moment, the solution is like really expensive career coaching, or like just really manual LinkedIn scrolling to see how people got to like where they're going. So we think One.Day is going to be like a solution, end-to-end solution, which addresses like the most painful pain points in that process.
And so how do you differentiate yourself from LinkedIn and the other platforms?
Yeah, definitely. So I'd say our biggest competitive advantage is in our tech. So Norm, like our co-founder, is an amazing data scientist, and I used to be a data scientist too. So we both really like understand, I guess, like how to leverage tech, and we think that our solution also tackles like quite a different pain point to what LinkedIn currently does. So we're really built for ambitious professionals and tailored to providing like a end-to-end career tracking solution.
And so you and your co-founder, how did you meet and like how did you come up with this idea yourself? Like was it a personal point that you thought there was an issue, or like did you do some really deep research into it?
So Norm and I met like 5 years ago actually. I was an intern at Westpac and he was my first manager, so it's a bit of a weird relationship, I guess, but we work really well together. Like when we were at Westpac, we scaled an internal web venture together.
Wow.
So we were managing a team, working with a team of like 7 developers and like being business analysts, and like Norm was running that team at the time. And then after that, we kind of like kept in touch. So I decided to go into strategy consulting, and he got offered another role at Westpac. But I think we both like found that career navigation was like a common pain point. Like despite our age differences and like different career paths, like we found that so many people struggled with it. And like he's a manager, so he has dealt with like the hiring side of things. And as like a young professional myself, like going through like transitioning from like an accounting career to data science career to a consulting career, it's just like been quite a big personal pain point.
That is really unique to have such a good working relationship. And Yeah, do you feel like it plays out well in terms of, your what are your strengths versus his?
Great question. So I think for me, I'm probably more focused being like a strategy consultant and trained in like how business models work and things like that, all the BCG jargon and frameworks. I'm really more focused on like the go-to-market, investment relations, like strategy side of things. Norm is amazing, so he also has like a really great generalist skill set. Like he manages like an advanced analytic data science team, but he is better at coding than me, so he's kind of taking the reins on like the development side of things mainly. Yeah.
That's amazing. Gosh, I wish everyone could start a startup with their manager. And then if you could do this full time and take this to the heights of the world, how would you see, what's the big vision for One.Day?
Yeah, definitely. So we really imagine ourselves like disrupting or working with like the big players in the industry. So we think our business will have really great network effects because our tech, I guess it just scales over time and we'll build like a really defensible business model. So in the end, we do like envision ourselves like really disrupting the end-to-end job seeking process from disrupting like the career coaching market to eventually like end-to-end job matching. So yeah, limitless, hopefully.
Yeah, okay. And I'm more interested in the tech side of things as well. Like you mentioned ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That's obviously trending quite now.
Yeah, definitely.
How would you integrate that into your app?
Yeah, gosh, I wish Norman was here right now. But essentially, we're definitely going to be using ChatGPT for the AI chatbot, but we're going to really enhance that with our own proprietary data set and like AI model, and I think that's what makes us really unique. So we're just leveraging it for now. Like I think they have a team of like thousands of data scientists working on it, so there's no way we'll replicate their tech, but yeah.
I think that's a good way to go about it. Instead of, it's a whole new world with AI right now.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think about what will keep you ahead if you were to compete against LinkedIn and all the other companies? What's so unique about your technology?
For us, we are going to be product-led. So I think LinkedIn, it really serves mass markets and like also organizations like Seek, but for One.Day, we're really focused on those like ambitious career professionals and targeted on things like career transition and like really aggregating across those platforms like Seek and like LinkedIn to create like an end-to-end solution. Because at the moment, for a young professional, they go to like Seek and LinkedIn, and then they have like their own personal job tracker on Excel probably. And then after that, like an interview prep scheduler or something like that. But we really wanted to create like a one-stop shop for that. And I think something else which is pretty core to our model is like the community aspect. So we're also going to be having like a community underlying everything where people can like warm intro each other and things like that. So
that would be a very valuable network, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be joining that soon.
That's great. I'll see you there.
And the other point which Norman pointed out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I run my regular question for all the guests that appear here at Fishburner Live. Annie, have you done your call for action to audience?
Of course. We'd love for you to follow our LinkedIn page, linked in the description.
Yes.
Just stay up to date on our journey. We're also looking out for a few advisors and mentors to help us along the way. So please feel free to like reach out and connect.
So everyone out there, if you want to back a crowd favorite at Fishburner Pitch Night and want to help everyone to benefit from career planning, coaching, support for any professional or young professional that is so widespread across the whole population and professional community, follow the link in the description to discover Day One, or One.Day, sorry, well not Day One. Day One is Amazon. One.Day at that is led by Annie and your co-founder. Where's he?
Norman.
Yeah. He's not here.
He's home with his family.
Oh, he left already.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, Maya, thank you for hosting, or thank you for sharing your conversation with our audience tonight. What's your call for action?
For myself or for her?
For you. For you.
Me?
Why you are here tonight?
Well, I love to learn about new ideas, and I would love to build out a bit of advisory myself. So, yeah, feel free to.
Advisory. So you're not into startup yet, but you want to be advisory in corporate or startup?
That's correct. Advisory in both.
Both. All right. So, okay. Looking forward to see next time you're here. You're ready to say link in the description below. All right. Let's go to our sponsor message, and we will go to have our next speaker sharing their story with us. See you soon.
Thank you for all the people that are watching online. I believe we have people from England, Israel, the US.
Okay, my name's Alex. I'm the founder of Print.
First-hand dramatic impact of climate change.
We will send a read-only copy.
Please jump on here, send us. For all the people that are watching online. I believe we have people from England, Israel, the US.
Okay, my name's Alex. I'm the founder of Print.
First-hand dramatic impact of climate change.
We will send a read-only copy.
Please jump on here, send us.
So I have the privilege of being here with Nathan, founder of Arvec, and we're going to have a brief conversation about the future of marketing with graphics. So Nathan, do you want to introduce yourself and to the crowd and let us all know what you're currently working on with your company?
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm from Arvec, and generally we use 3D graphics to showcase products online in an interactive manner. Generally, products and content has been showcased with static JPEGs or videos, but today with internet's web technology and websites basically being programs, you can make really engaging experiences and other maybe just functional experiences, but also immersive user experiences. And there's just a lot more that can be explored, and I think that plays a hand in marketing.
So how did the company come about? What were you thinking about? Who were you connecting with? What industry were you in when the technology emerged in your heart as an idea?
Well, generally I started as a 3D animator working on adverts, so I was already exposed to the marketing field in that way through television. And then later moved to Australia, I got more involved into web graphics. And then while working on a freelance project for Nike, I experienced a product being visualized in a configurator for marketing, and I thought that's such an engaging experience. I thought, why isn't there more of this online? So I got kind of really intrigued and obsessed in creating software that can make this more possible for other brands and clients. So that's why I started Arvec and the Arvec engine.
How long have you been going for?
Yeah, well, I started freelancing about 3-4 years ago, but then over time as I was building the engine, then I started Arvec, and eventually found the first clients. And you mentioned that the experience that was showcasing his product for clients to interact with increased his online sales conversions by up to 50%. And that was quite invigorating. It was such an experience for us.
What's been one of your favorite use cases of the technology so far?
The best use cases?
Yeah, one of your favorite examples of a customer or a client leveraging that technology. What do you think's been the coolest that people should check out?
Yeah, I guess just customizing it to their own needs and wants. Also, yeah, just like configuring something they'll actually include in the home. For example, there was one company I worked with, I won't say the exact name, but you could like configure their lighting systems and their light mounts. And then a client could augment it on their ceiling and they could see what it would look like in their home. And then press a button and they'd order the real thing. And the real thing would be installed in their home. So yeah, I thought it was a great example of digital twinning, which I think is going to be something that's going to keep growing and growing in the future.
So digital twinning is the phrase. Actually, tonight was the first time I'd heard that phrase. Did you make that up?
On the fly, I made it up. No. But it's actually, no, it does exist, the word digital twinning. Yeah, it's basically like a digital representation of a real object, and when you interact with it, it triggers a real world event and the real object's occurring. So I think there's such with, like, say, like with video games, you get so many configurable fictional things. I think at the moment there's probably, or in the future, there's going to be a possibility of configuring a million literal things, and there's a lot of creative things to explore.
So we are talking about the future of marketing. So what are some examples, like throw out some wacky examples that you've thought this could evolve into in our everyday lives?
Okay, how about you have a boat configurator and you can change the setting of the scenery. You want to see the boat when it's like sitting on it by island while the sun's setting at a certain time around palm trees. And you want to see what it's like the boat experience would be on the boat like that, you know, on a certain type of yacht. You can change its color. No, I wanted this color, I want that color. I want this the different time of day.
Wow.
Yeah, this is cool. Okay, I want the real thing in real life. Okay, bye. Go. And then you actually get the real thing. I think those would be wicked experiences. And yeah, they're yet to come. And I think let's make it happen.
I'm just going to ask a silly question. My mom used to say there's no such thing as those, but I think there are silly questions. This might be one of them. In that example you just gave of the future of shopping, would I be at home with virtual reality glasses on a website, or how would that? So we're talking about the future of marketing, where I could actually literally live an experience with my product before I've bought it. Fictitiously, and then I can transact and buy that product. What's the context of where all this is taking place potentially? Am I at home when I do that?
That's a very good question, because at the moment those experiences will be on a smartphone. However, there are glasses coming out. I guess Apple's working on developing some form of AR glasses that you can wear, like the glasses you're wearing at the moment.
These are them. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe they got the same ones. But basically you would wear normal glasses like you're wearing at the moment, but then you'd see augmented content in the world around you. So you would have to put like a big heavy headset on your head, and we might be using those glasses as cell phones instead of actual mobile devices. But generally it'll be, I think they'll be more immersive and easy to access. So yeah, that answer to that question ties into the hardware involved as well.
Of course, so the whole landscape is evolving.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's what makes the future so exciting, and beginning to build it.
Yeah, awesome. I think our time's up, but I don't know what. We can go into a bonus round. Should we go into a bonus round?
A bonus round?
Yeah. But how would someone participate with your technology? How would they get in touch to participate with your technology?
How would they get in touch?
If it's relevant for their business case.
Well, they can try it themselves on the Arvec website at arvec.com.au. So that's arvec.com.au. And there's a demo you could try, a drone demo, and you can interact and configure it yourself to see what the future of technology looks like regarding 3D marketing as well as configuration.
What are the rough setup times for companies deploying that technology into their business from contacting you?
It depends on the hardware that they use, but at the moment we would develop the models, we would process it through our 3D engine, and then as well that could be injected into their business website or web software. It depends on the use case, but it could take as short as a few days to a week. Really, it already all depends on the content and how much they need to get done.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think that's all.
How did you feel tonight? How did you feel tonight when? How did you feel on stage pitching?
Yeah, that was my first pitch.
First one?
But it was just great to express what I've been building for the last 2 years, because I've been getting feedback from the other Fishburners in the background at these pitches, and to actually share it on a screen, it's very rewarding.
That's awesome. So from attendee to speaker.
Yes. It was a great experience.
Awesome.
Great way to express it.
Was there anything the judges said that took you off guard when they asked you questions?
Yeah, I actually thought they were going to ask more hardcore questions, but I guess generally it said, how is it different from other software? But as I said earlier, it's like a painting, you know. There's many different types of paintings, but there's many different ways of painting a painting, you know. So my argument is that it's like I'm bringing a paintbrush, you know. You can express many types of content in different ways, and there's many ways to do that. They say digital twinning, I read somewhere, it's probably going to go up to like 70 billion by 2027 from, I think, like 2 billion.
Wow.
My stats might be wrong, but it's a high growing market.
Wow.
And lots to express.
That's awesome. Cool. What did he say? If you don't know what to say look down. Is that what he said?
Oh yeah, click on the link below.
Click on the link below.
Yeah.
We're done.
So my question. Thank you, Nicole, for interviewing Nathan. I remember I first talked to you when you first joined.
Oh,
Has it been 2 years?
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Really? Don't go yet, Nicole.
Oh, okay.
Has it been 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years now. Yeah.
And you have actually changed and evolved your business offering a little bit, is it? Or has it always been this?
I think it's branched out from just serving one sector. Like
that's right.
Nothing wrong with e-commerce, but not just e-commerce, but also branching out to manufacturing.
Yeah.
And also just out to product visualization.
That's right.
And not just showing the product, interacting with it, but the experience of it and customizing that experience.
So what's your call to action for everyone or anyone out there happens to bump into this video?
Yeah.
You know, there are Fishburner have a marketing pool of 30-some thousand leads. If we actively push this video out there, bound to have one or two people is your target audience or target customers. What would you like them to do? What's the action you want them to do?
Simply try out the 3D demo on the Arvec website at arvec.com.au.
Hey, have you watched enough YouTube? Link in the description below.
Oh, link in the description below. That might make it easier.
Exactly.
But just try out the 3D demo, and that's
if you could build a demo, show people how to put together an IKEA furniture, would you do that?
Yeah, I already kind of got a demo like that.
Oh, you got a demo like that, or exactly an IKEA set?
Not IKEA itself, but
you don't have an IKEA as a client yet.
If you got the money, I'll make whatever you want.
How much is it for example, if it is a put together a Billy bookcase, IKEA favorite product, Billy bookcase, that everyone would have buy a couple of them in their apartment. So how long will it take to drop a 3D animation model showing the sequence of parts, screw, turn, parts, screw, turn, blah, 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 blah.
With those sound effects?
Potentially, yes, exactly. Yeah. How much it costs and how long would it take?
Yeah, so that'll really depend on the complexity of the product.
Yep.
But that could be, you still have to build the model and then all the bolts and the pieces, either if they're built from scratch, probably from the manual.
The menus are all out there available for you to download. The 2D menu, the PDF menu.
And about 2 weeks work.
2 weeks worth.
It could be like 4 to 6 grand.
4 to 6 grand of professional services.
Yeah, the whole service, you're hosting the inline, creating the models, creating the sequences,
If
putting
you
the software
do that
video.
and make it a YouTube video and post it on a Fishburner channel, and then if it attract globally how many million views, how many YouTube ad revenue will you get? Well, assuming IKEA is not going to challenge you for copyright.
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking that who is your next big one single customer? Potentially your solution will solve their problem and able to make a difference to their audience, to their clients.
Can I answer with mine?
Sure.
I don't think it's one customer. We were just having a conversation with the mic. Hello. I think the business model would be incredible. This is my bias because it's my background and it's what we were talking about before you pulled us up here. To leverage this technology for average e-commerce stores, to create distribution models that make it more feasible for all the e-commerce stores. It's a booming industry. It's relevant to their bottom line of conversions online, and then you mitigate your client relational risk because it's not just one big client and all the terms that surround that and the contracts, but you've got tens of thousands of revenue sources independent of one another.
Yeah, there's so many examples of digital twinning from e-commerce, but one focus I was working with another company this year is just manufacturing. Like, how do you visualize the manufacturing of items, customizing things to actually literally get built? So though it helps with marketing, it also helps as a functional tool. So basically the Arvec engine is to be a visualizer and the software configurator for those contents. Yeah, for marketing as well as a tool for configuration.
Fantastic. For those of you who is watching out there at the moment who bump into this video, Nathan is a typical Fishburner member who's hang around in the community and then soldier on and building his business.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. If what Nathan has been doing and his braveness in pitching tonight, if you haven't seen his pitch yet, go to Founders Hub, link in the description below to discover his pitch and discover his business.
Arvec, yeah.
Arvec. Sorry, I cannot remember it because it was not the original name, was it?
No.
It's always been the name. All right. Okay, my bad. Okay, and so if what Nathan has been doing inspire you, so please join our community and discover how you can build your business with Fishburner. Nicole, why are you here tonight?
Just to see the pictures, get in the action, see what interesting projects are happening with new technologies.
Yeah, and obviously Nathan's project excites you and interests you, and
yes.
Thank you for so brave and bring this conversation in front of our camera.
Thank you for trusting me.
What would you like to tell the audience if you have a message?
If I have a message, a life message, a marketing
message? Whatever. If you're looking for job, you're looking for client, you're looking for whatever, or coach or support or...
That's very kind.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I do have a marketing agency.
Yep.
So if anyone would like to participate in that, you can check the
link. Look at the camera with the red light.
Thanks. If anyone needs help with marketing from brand, social media, email marketing, overall strategy, paid media, I can help via marrow.marketing. Link below.
Have you got your Hot Wheel yet?
No.
All right, this is yours.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, link in the description below to discover what Nicole can do for you at, say, digital marketing agency, and discover more about Arvec from Nathan. And see you next time. Let's wave to the camera and say bye.